The divided light. In the light of the Creator's mind is desire to dramatize his one idea by dividing its one unconditioned, unchanging unity of balance and rest into pairs of oppositely conditioned units, which must forever interchange with each other to seek balance and rest. Desire then multiplies those pairs of units into an infinity of eternal repetitions to give form bodies to the Creator's imaginings. All form bodies are created in His image. Through the expression of desire and light, this universal drama of cause and effect is created as the product of mind knowing divided by mind thinking. Cause is eternally at rest in the balanced unity of undivided light. Cause is one. Effect is eternally in motion to seek balance and rest in the centering equilibrium of the two opposed lights of this divided universe, which it finds only to lose. Effect is two. The light of cause, divided into two opposed lights of effect, is the one sole occupation of mind, which we call thinking. Mind thinking sets divided idea into two-way opposed motion to produce the effect of simulating idea by giving form to it. Form bodies are but pressured conditioned motion, however. They are not the idea which they simulate. The electric universe of simulated idea. Mind thinking is electric. Divided electric thought pulsations manifest creative desire in wave cycles of motion, which forever vibrate between the two electric thought conditions of concentration and decentration. Concentrative and decentrative sequences of electric thinking produce the opposed pressures of compression and expansion, which form solid bodies of motion surrounded by gaseous space in one wave pulsation, and reverse that order in the next. Concentrative thinking is centripetal. It focuses to a point. It borns gravity. It charges by multiplying low potential into high and cold into heat. Narration. Decentrative thinking is centrifugal. It expands into space. It borns radiation. It discharges by dividing high potential into low and heat into cold. All motion is a continuous two-way journey in opposite directions between two destinations. One destination is the apex of a cone in an incandescent center of gravity. At this point, motion comes to rest and reverses its direction. The other destination is the base of a cone encircling a cold evacuated center of radiation. At this point, motion again comes to rest and reverses its direction from centrifugal to centripetal. So long as the Creator's mind divides his knowing by his thinking, just so long will the two-way motion continue in sequences of cycles to record God's imaginings in forms of his imaginings. God being eternal, likewise, his universe is eternal. The belief of science that the universe had a beginning in some remote past, as the result of some giant cataclysm, which we call the Big Bang, and will come to an end in some future remote period, is due to not knowing that waves of motion are the thought waves of the universal thinker. The journey toward gravity simulates life, and the opposite journey simulates death in the forever repeating cycles which, together in their continuity, simulate eternal life. The two opposite pressure conditions which control life-death cycles of all bodies are the negative condition of expansion, which thrusts outward, radially and spirally, from a centering zero of rest to form the low potential condition which constitutes space, and the positive condition of compression which thrusts inward toward a centered zero of rest to form the compressed condition of gravity which generates forming bodies into solids surrounded by space. Desire of mind expresses its desire through the electric process of thinking. Thinking divides idea into pairs of oppositely conditioned units of motion which record a simulation of idea into thought forms. Sir James Jeans has suggested the possibility that matter might be proven to be pure thought. Matter is not pure thought, but it is the electric record of thought. Every electric wave is a recording instrument which is forever recording the form of thought in wave fields of matter. All thought waves created anywhere in any wave field become universal by repeating them everywhere. Thought waves of expanded and compressed states of motion are fashioned into moving patterns which simulate the forms of the Creator's imaginings. All form bodies thus created are made in his image. This division of the undivided light and its extension into oppositely conditioned states of motion is the basis of the universal heartbeat of pulsing thought waves, which seemingly divide the one whole idea into many ones. Interchange between oppositely conditioned pairs of thought recording units is expressed in waves of motion. This is a thought wave universe. Thought waves are reproduced throughout the universe at the speed of 186,000 miles per second. It is commonly believed that the incandescence of suns is light. Incandescence simulates light in this cinema universe of a macroscopic make-believe, but incandescence is not light. It is but motion. Incandescence is merely the compressed half of the one divided pair of opposite conditions which constitute matter and space. The black vacuity of cold space constitutes the expanded half. Together these two are as much mates as male and female are mates. Each is equally essential to the other. Each finds balance in the other by voiding each other's unbalance. These two conditions and directions of compression and expansion are necessary for the two-way interchange of motion, which performs the work of integrating and disintegrating the living, dying cycles of opposed motion which this electric universe is. The incandescence of compressed matter and the black vacuity of expanded matter are the two opposite polar ends of nature's bar magnet. Nature does not make her bar magnets in the form of cylinders as man does. She makes them in the form of cones. In this radial universe no other form of motion than the spiral form of cones is possible. This means that the negative end of nature's magnet is tens of thousands of times larger in volume than the positive end, although the potentials of each end are equal. It also means that the equilibrium plane which divides nature's magnet is curved, while that same plane in a cylindrical bar magnet is a flat plane of zero curvature. The Coulomb law misconception. The Coulomb law statement that opposites attract and likes repel is not true to natural law. Opposite conditions are opposite conditions. Likewise, they are opposite effects caused by each thrusting in opposite directions. It is not logical to say that opposites fulfill any other office than to oppose, nor is it logical to say that opposing things attract each other. In all this universe, like conditions seek like conditions. Gases and vapors seek gases and vapors by rising to find them. Liquids and solids seek liquids and solids by falling toward them. Radiating matter seeks a radiating condition in this outward direction of radiation. Gravitating matter seeks the inward radial direction of condensation to find its like condition. Opposite poles of a bar magnet thrust away from each other as far as they can go. That is the very purpose of the electric current which divides the universal equilibrium. If opposite poles attracted each other, they would have to be together in the middle instead of pushing away from each other to the very ends. When depolarization takes place, the poles seem to draw closer together, but that is because of their lessening vitality. They still thrust away from each other until devitalization is complete. When motion ceases, the matter which it manifests ceases to be. Scientific observers have been deceived by their senses into thinking that the opposites attract each other because of seeing the north pole of one magnet pull towards the south pole of another magnet. The fact that opposite polarities void each other when thus contacted has not been considered as a factor in this matter. It is a fact, however, when two opposites are thus brought together by their seeming eagerness to contact each other, both poles cease to be. Each one has voided the other as completely as the chemical opposites sodium and chlorine void each other and leave no trace of either one after their contact. If the Coulomb law were valid, it would not be possible to gather together 1 ounce of any element.